And welcome back to a Monday. I'm so happy I do videos on Mondays because it's kind of like the worst day of the week. And I don't know, it just feels like it always sets my week off on the right foot. And I hope that it definitely sets your week off on the right foot. Um, my headache's doing better today, but man, it's been brutal. I don't know where this migraine has come from, but I feel good. And today we're gonna do like info drops from the universe. And what exactly do info drops from the universe mean? Essentially, I didn't really know what topic to do. I mean, I actually choose my topic probably an hour before every single Monday. Um, and as I'm going through my downloads, because I have a yearly downloads folder on my phone, and there was a lot of really cool topics, but nothing I felt compelled to do a whole video about. So I figured, why not just put them all together, do all of the topics, and kind of run through them quite quickly. So I'm gonna have Lauren do all of the timestamps to this video. So don't worry about having to write everything down. If you want, you can, or you can just kind of sit back and listen. And then if you want to go back into a topic in particular that I touched upon, you can go into the timestamps and check it out that way. Yeah, and hopefully that'll help. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of things: reprogramming the reptilian brain, how to be a great parent, why we lose our memory in the fifth dimension, what the crux of convenience is, quantum processing, how to master your mind. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, like I said, a little bit of everything today. It's going to be a really great video. As per usual, thank you so freaking much for being here. I am so grateful. I did have a little cry yesterday because I was so grateful. I usually do those cries in private, but it was very public and it was fine. I'm dealing with the surrendering and vulnerability. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel wherever that button is, and definitely share this video. This is a really good video to share out to your own networks or social medias. I'm really not on Rumble or TikTok or Twitter a whole lot. So if you guys like own those networks and you want to repost and share out, I'm super appreciative of that. And thank you so much, CH, for that super chat. A couple of announcements before we dive right into it. Just a reminder, if you are a member, the creator credit is not going to is being discontinued is the right word. And thank you for that super chat, Benjamin, again. And so in the new year, 2023, we are discontinuing the creator credit. And we have a couple of other kind of juicy things in store. But that being said, if you sign up or if you're a creator now and you move into 2023, you will maintain your 1111 creator credit. We literally give creator members $11 every single month. To put behind whatever it is that you want. So if you want to be grandfathered into that creator credit, now is the time to sign up to be a creator, or just stick with your creator membership. But just keep in mind that if you do decide to downgrade or cancel your creator membership in the new year, you will lose your credit. If you want to upgrade, you're not going to have the credit anymore. So just keep that in mind. Next up, we've got the Cosmic Gateway coming up on December 21st. I'm so excited. If you want to set intentions, if you want to tune into your intuition and tap into your psychic abilities and clear the energy of 2022, and we all kind of need a little bit of clearing, then the Cosmic Gateway Workshop is definitely something you want to check out. It's going live on December 21st, but you can always catch the replay after. Your $22 ticket includes the live and the replay and an epic workbook and a musical performance, and it's going to be really freaking awesome. And then we also have the Galactic Federation meeting coming up on December 11th. And thank you so much, Micheline, for that super chat. And we are going to be asking the Galactic Federation about, are we on the right track for 2022? Were we aligned to our contracts? And what should we really expect and be prepared for 2023? And a bunch of other questions that I actually pulled from you guys from Instagram. So thank you for that. And thank you so much, Brandeis, for that super chat as well. You guys are super generous today. I really appreciate that. Two more things. I know it's a lot. I have an interview actually with Cryon/Lee Carroll. I don't know if you follow him or you've ever seen or listened to the Cryon channelings before, but that's going to be really epic. We will definitely be sure to post the link to that. Well, actually, I don't have to because it's happening this Wednesday on my YouTube channel. We're going to actually be dual streaming on Cryon's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. So check that out. It's going to be really freaking incredible. And I'm very excited for that. So that's this Wednesday, the 7th, happening at 6 p.m. PST. So hopefully you can make it. But if not, it will be chilling on my YouTube channel for your enjoyment. And then last but not least, I have a really big announcement coming in January. I just figured I'd plant a seed, get you all pretty freaking pumped up for it. And once again, thank you, Micheline, for that. So yeah, really big announcement coming in January. I'm sure a couple of you have an idea of what it could be. But it's going to be really good. So I'm thinking probably announcing that January 1st. So be aware. I think I'll probably do a video and maybe an Instagram post. I don't know, but I'm excited. Really excited. So, all right, that's it. All right. Okay, so first info drop is how to manifest good luck. All of these info drops are posed as questions, and then I answer the question through the download. So how do we manifest good luck? Great question. I had this download maybe a month ago, maybe a month or two ago, and it was about good luck. Like, what truly is good luck? I think part of it is karma. So part of it is our energy from the past coming back around to the present moment. Do you have good karma? Do you have bad karma? Karma is just the cause and effect of the actions that we take. High vibrational cause and effect, or low vibrational cause and effect. And that will roll over into the present moment. Thank you, Halsey, for that super chat. And so what is good luck, right? It's part of the karma. And then I really do believe that we create good luck. And of course, we create our own karma as well. But we truly create good luck moving forward into our lives. So a combination of intention setting and switching your negative mindset into a positive one. And it will create good luck for you every time. Here's a great example, right? Someone would say, wow, I went to this concert and I was driving around the parking lot for forever and I couldn't find a parking spot. And then all of a sudden, a parking spot frees up. I must have good luck today. I always call it parking karma because, you let people in, you do good in the parking lot, you're considerate and compassionate, it'll come back around. But truly, what I like to do, especially when I know I'm going to a busy restaurant or a busy event, I will always manifest a good parking spot intentionally by asking for it. Before I get to the event, I'll say, I'm going to find the perfect parking spot for me, whatever that may mean. If I needed some extra steps that day, it means I'm walking. And if not, it means I'm going to get really, really close to the door. And it works every time. We can create and manifest good karma by setting our intention and being aware of the negative mindsets that we have and switching the negative mindset into positive. So if you're going somewhere and you're catching yourself thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be so crazy busy and I hate parking and it's always the worst and I never get a good spot. Pay attention to that thought, catch it, turn it around, and ask for what you really want. Set those intentions, and maybe not at first because you may not believe the intentions that you're setting, but eventually you'll be like, yeah, it works every time I set an intention, and you really build that trust. And the more you believe in the intention that you're setting, the more you trust in the intention that you're setting, the more and more that intention comes into fruition. All right? And that is how you manifest good karma. Or sorry, good luck. Good luck and I guess a little bit of good karma too. All right. Moving on to the next info drop because we got a lot. We got a lot here. So how are simulations created? I really love this. And this could definitely be its own video. And I really recommend go onto the website, do some searching. I've talked a lot about simulation theory over the years. So if this is of interest to you, I have many hour-long videos about quantum mechanics, simulation theory. Even the Quantum Human Workshop talks a lot about simulation. So just keep that in mind. So how are simulations created? Another good question here is, how are universes created? And we could also kind of interchange that with how are timelines, parallel timelines created? So essentially, this is the download that came through consciousness. Different simulations are created through consciousness. What is consciousness? It's focus. And what has quantum mechanics already proven to us through things like the double slit experiment? That our consciousness changes the reality around us. And if we really understand that, then we put ourselves into a position of being the creator of our reality through science. But the smaller we observe the scientific fields of this reality, the more we begin to understand that this concept of God, or this concept of the creator in this universe, or source frequency in the universe, is in the quantum. It's in the smallest particles, atoms, frequencies, vibrations of this reality. So that's how we create simulations. And we also have to understand that dreams are mini simulations. And I still haven't really fully figured out the whole dream realm and reality, but I'm getting closer. It feels more complex than just saying it's a simulation. And then what's a simulation? This is a simulation, and that's a simulation. It's all a simulation, right? It's like one giant game, a video game that we're in, that we're playing right now. So think about every dream that you have as a simulation. And then the next question that you want to ponder is, if all of my dreams are mini simulations, then who created those simulations? You did. Your consciousness did. Even though your ego brain or your human mind was not aware of the fact that you decided to create that mini simulation last night in your dreams, your soul decided that that's something that you needed to go through. And because your soul focused on something that you needed to experience, it created that mini simulation for you to go through and experience. And a lot of the times in these mini simulations and during dream space, we actually create contracts with soul family or with spirit guides or with passed away loved ones to co-create these mini simulations. And then it really leads me to this understanding of what is the collective simulation? And I've pondered this for many years, still haven't figured it out, but I'll give you some info on this. Okay, I'll just drop this. Each of us are testing, it's a key word, different aspects of the collective simulation. So, for example, right, this is kind of where it gets pretty trippy. if we're all watching Fox 9 News, I don't know if that's actually a news station, we're all watching the same news station all over the world in all the different languages, then what's happening is we are all collectively observing the exact same reality. And then, of course, you have to ask the question, well, who creates that reality, that collective reality? Well, it's the news station, of course, right? And they can create, as we know, whatever reality they so desire to create based on usually the money and the power and the lobbying that goes on to project what is in the news that we see. So that being said, the question is there really a collective reality, right? Because I mean, once again, I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there. This is what I wrote. Yeah, once again, each of us are testing different aspects of the collective reality. My reality here at home is a very small sliver of the collective reality. And maybe here in Nevada, it's a cold day during the winter, and everyone else in Nevada is experiencing the same cold day in the winter. And so we're experiencing a portion of a smaller collective reality that has nothing to do with the globe. Think about it. How often do we actually tune in to the real collective reality on this planet? It's very rare. What would you assume is the collective reality on this planet? Is it a war in Russia or Ukraine? Is that a collective reality? A lot of people are questioning if it is. Is the next president in America a collective reality? No, I don't think it is, because it's not a global issue, right? Is cryptocurrency a collective reality? Yes and no. These are all aspects of a collective reality. We are here so similar in our body, in our mind, in our patterning and programming, even within our soul. We are like literally 98% similar, but we're all here testing out different levels, different layers of this collective reality. And I think that's something really interesting to think about. And that's why I prompt everyone to really take the time to imagine and sit with what it is that you want the collective reality to look like, to feel like. Because the more that we can do that, the more we're bringing one intention together. And if we all set the intention for equality and peace and unity and unconditional love, and, as I've said before, access to basic resources like food and water and shelter and internet, then I think we can all agree that there's a lot of work to do, and we can create that collectively. It can be so simple, but I think a lot of the projections in our world and in our reality are making us feel frantic. They're making us feel fearful. They're making us feel chaotic. And that chaos energy is feeding into this frenzy of the unknown. And as human beings, we have been taught to fear the unknown since the beginning, right? Instead of embrace it. And I'm saying, don't just fear the unknown, surrender to the unknown, and then in that place of 0-point neutrality, in objective observation of what is, we can then consciously focus on a different aspect of what is possible within a collective and individual reality. That's called collectively hopping quantum timelines. And it's possible. So how are simulations created? They're created from consciousness. They're created from our focus. They're created from us. And the more you understand that, and the deeper you believe that, the greater you have the ability to shift your entire reality. Cool. All right, let's move on to the next info drop from the universe. The crux of convenience is a skill lost. And I'm going to repeat that because this really struck me when it came through in meditation. The crux of convenience is a skill lost. Thank you, Jeff, for that super chat. Yeah, so I'm going to give you the example of why this came through. And it's going to sound really human and really silly. And I was trying to think of like other examples of this, but it doesn't matter. So I was making dinner probably like 3 months ago. And usually, like, I don't ever buy salad dressings. I love cooking, by the way. Food is definitely my love language. And I don't ever buy salad dressings. I don't know why. I don't like them. Usually my salad dressing is olive oil, squeezed lemon, a little bit of garlic, some paprika, maybe some cayenne, and salt and pepper. Am I missing anything? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. It's so good. It's so yummy, and it like just like lifts my vibe. That's my salad dressing always. So the other day I bought like I didn't have any lettuce, so I bought a salad kit, and it was a Caesar salad. And I got one of those like packets with like the salad, pre-made salad and the packets of Caesar dressing. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why would I ever buy a packet of dressing? I wonder how I could make Caesar dressing myself. I made Caesar salad dressing myself from scratch using some of the similar ingredients, garlic and squeezed lemon and some olive oil, salt and pepper. It was delicious. It was the best Caesar salad dressing I've ever had. Like I said, I don't usually go for the creamier sauces, but that was so good. Never again have I ever bought those packets of Caesar salad dressing. And this is where the download came in, right? Like such an LOL moment, just doing my human thing in the middle of making dinner. And I thought, like, what else am I buying that I could be making? And that's at a food-based level. But seriously, you guys, like, the crux of convenience is a skill lost. And think about it. How many skills have we lost? I mean, like I said, the whole Caesar salad dressing is such an eye roll. But at a deeper level, I'm a little worried. Like think about like having your own garden, right? Planting your own food, building your own fire. I couldn't imagine rubbing 2 sticks together to actually make fire. But there's other solutions, right, to that. And I love all of the survival shows, like Alone and like those shows. Love them, right? But yeah, so here's what I recommend for you to remedy this crux. Try to do something from scratch. If you love tiki masala, for example, like a beautiful, yummy Indian curry dish, make it from scratch. Don't just buy the tiki masala sauce. Ask yourself, do a little Googling, get the recipe. Once again, I go back to food, right? But a good example is if your car breaks down, maybe that's an extreme example. Okay, if you have to go in and get your oil changed, ask yourself, I wonder if I can change my own oil. Right? Those kind of things. So my piece of homework to all of you is try and do something that is a convenience in your life. Try and do it yourself. And yeah, watch a YouTube video to see how to do it. You know what I mean? Learn a new skill is all I'm trying to say, because I'm trying to do that myself. All right? All right, good. Okay, next download from the universe. Why do we lose our memory when we hop into 5th dimension, when we wake up? Now, I actually truly have a whole video, probably multiple videos, on memory loss and 5D. So just type in memory in the search on my website. And as you guys probably know, I do take down YouTube videos. It's funny, I think I'm getting a little bit shadow banned right now because I've done some pretty contentious videos on YouTube. So I will be taking those down shortly. And then a lot of those are just free on my website. You just have to log in as a seeker. So once again, search memory or memory loss. All the videos that are associated with memory will come up on my website. But I did want to touch upon this topic again because it's really freaking epic. And this won't even cover the half of it. Why do we lose our memory when we hop into the fifth dimension? Because memory is created through our reactions. Memory is created through our reactions. What are our typical reactions? Fight or flight? Where do the fight or flight frequencies come from? Our good old reptilian brain. What frequency vibration is the reptilian brain in? It's in a lower one. So naturally, as we raise our vibration, we actually stop utilizing our human third dimension brain altogether. Well, we definitely don't stop using it altogether, but we hop into using our soul's Akashic records, our subconscious, which is really, really cool and can be a little overwhelming when you tap into it. It is truly like channeling. I call it the universal Google, right? The second you're able to close your eyes, quiet your mind, and let go of everything that's happening in this moment, you get to type in a question into Google. Who was I in my last life? Why does the sun shine like this? Why am I losing my memory? And all the information will come through. How do I play the harmonica? Past life will pop in, or whatever, right? What happened in childhood? Memories, visuals will all pop up. So why we lose our memory when we move into a higher frequency is because we're actually just using a different version of memory. The best example I can give, and I've actually mentioned this in my book, a part of your awakening journey is losing your memory, just briefly. And the example that I love giving with memory, and I gave it in my full memory video, is if you misplace your keys, right? You're about to go out and you've now lost your keys. And you're like, oh my God, you're scouring the house. So in a 3D way, you're going to think to yourself, when was the last time I had my keys? Where were the keys where did I put my keys when I had them last? And you're backtracking. Was it yesterday? Was it the day before? And where was it? Where did I come from? Where did I go? It's a very linear way of accessing your linear memory. But if you let go of all of the anxiety and the stress and the worry and the emotions and the fight or flight reaction, and you all of a sudden just step into neutrality and you ask yourself, where are my keys? It'll pop right into your mind. Your subconscious knows everything. And to be able to tap into that is one of our greatest gifts. But in order to tap into that subconscious mind, those Akashic records, that 5D memory, we need to be able to let go of the emotional reaction, the attachment to the present moment. And that, obviously meditation is a great way to do that. And that's really important, There are many other ways to do that. Accessing 5D memory through neutrality. And the more neutral we are about life, the more we're in a state of 0-point frequency or objective neutrality, the less memories we're creating because we're just observing everything. We're not reacting to it and then, it's now in our mind, and then we forget other things because we're reacting to the one thing, and then it's a cycle. We program ourselves that way. That's literally how we program ourselves. All right, cool. Let's move on. Okay. How do I figure out my biggest life lesson? I get this question all the time because I always go back to the sole and really only reasons why you're incarnated ever on any planet, in any body, ever, the whole purpose of existence is to clear karma and to learn lessons, to understand the past and clear it in the present moment, and in the present moment be able to move forward and access the future. And we move forward as a soul by having new experiences in the body that we put ourselves in order to, get this, learn lessons and move forward. And the only way we get to learn lessons is to be challenged. If we had no challenges and everything was just really freaking awesome all the time, we would be here. Stuck. We would be stagnant. We wouldn't be moving. So what is your greatest lesson? How do you understand your greatest life lesson in this lifetime? Period. And thank you so much for that super chat, Elpis. That's really beautiful. Appreciate that. So how do we figure out our biggest life lesson? Observe your biggest repeated life struggle. That's all. It sucks, but that's all. Is it repeating the same relationship patterns? Is it repeating the same financial patterns? Is it repeating the same job patterns? What's your greatest struggle so far? I don't care if you're 10 years old or you're 25 years old or you're 85 years old. You're going to know what that is because it's been repeating. Different people, different situations, same exact energy, same exact struggle, same issue. And once we can really identify what that greatest lesson is, then we can set an intention to learn the lesson. And then we're moving forward exponentially in our lives. It's awesome, actually. All right, let's move on. All right. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Why do religions demonize aliens? Once again, these are questions that have popped into my mind that the answers just come. These are just channels, little mini channels from the past year. Why do religions demonize aliens? Because it threatens the control they have over the idea of God, or priests as God's messengers. And I'm really talking about Catholicism here, but, of course there's other ones. Religions, especially Catholicism, demonize aliens because it threatens the control that they have over people who believe in God and fear God, and really seriously need to look up to priests or prophets or the Pope as the messenger and the ultimate messengers of God. Because you, as a lowly follower of God, you cannot be God's messenger, my friend. I mean, at least that's what they tell you, which is crazy. We're all freaking God's messenger. We're all here and we all have the same amount of access. And so if all of a sudden aliens are disclosed, which it's already happening, it's crazy how the governments have already said, the Pentagon, the CIA have disclosed real documents saying, yep, there's crafts out there. Yep, there's aliens out there. Great, okay. Like, no one really seems to care, or it's just not really headline news. But if that is something that is out there for the whole world to see, then I really think religions are going to start losing their power because people are going to start questioning. Well, if aliens exist and aliens are not demons, then who was God? Then who helped us create this planet? Then how old are aliens? Are they older than 2,000 years? They must be. I don't know. It's going to really call into question a lot. And it would take the power away. So I think that the personal opinion here, I think one of the worst institutions, and I'm going to call it that, you could also call it a corporation, which they wouldn't want to be called that, is the Vatican. The Vatican has a lot of documents, a lot of proof, a lot of artifacts from tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years in the past. Not to mention, they are really wrapped up in sex trafficking, which we're not going to mention, but we already did. And that's that. So, all right. Okay, next up, how do we rewire our reptilian brain? We kind of talked about the fight or flight, the reptilian brain. How do we rewire it? I believe we can rewire the reptilian brain by loving it. I believe we perpetuate the use of the reptilian brain by resisting it. Okay, a really good example is I've been really working on my control issues. Now, I'm not a controlling person. Okay, thank you, Joe, for that super chat. I'm a pretty easygoing person, but for example, if I have like friends or family coming over, like I have this idea of perfection in my mind of like, and dinner's gonna be like this, and we're all gonna be laughing, and I don't know, right? It's like, and I'm gonna clean everything, and I'm gonna make sure it's all spotless, and there's gonna be like candles burning and incense and like nice smells, and like I'm just all about like setting up the vibe of like the place. And then it just never goes my way. Never, because obviously that's my biggest life lesson. And what happens is I recognize that I have these expectations or attachments, all human things, by the way, definitely a human thing. And I'm like, man, I really wish I wasn't like this. I really don't want to be like this. And the more I struggle against it, the more it ends up happening, because I think the more awareness I need to have, and so on and so forth. And thank you, Ray, for that super chat. And so what I really need to be doing is, hi, Elizabeth. I see that the dishwasher wasn't turned on last night, and yeah, that frustrates you. And I know that your wife could have done it, but I also know that you should have probably done it, and that's okay. It's okay that you're frustrated in this moment because you have some cleaning control issues, right? Like, if we observe our fight and flight response patterns in a compassionate and loving way, we neutralize it. If our fight or flight response patterns are chaos, and you're creating chaos by pushing back on it, then what you're doing is you're amplifying it. You're feeding those response patterns. You start to feel shameful and guilty for behaving that way. And so then you suppress that behavior, only for it to come out again and again and again. So the way that we rewire our reptilian brain is by loving it. I'm working on that. There's a lot of things I'm working on. I'm working on that for sure. And it's like, it's just funny how in myself, it's like I'll have the most amount of compassion for anyone in my life, and yet I don't hold that space for myself, of having compassion. It's like there's a certain expectation or standard I have. And I think a lot of starseeds are like that. I feel like a lot of us really push this expectation of, but you're an old soul and you know better. And by doing that, by kind of like punishing ourselves, like as if we're children, we're creating these negative patterns in our life. It's like the new age way of parenting, which is funny because I think the parenting one is coming up next. It's about really having compassion for ourselves and holding space for ourselves, rather than the punishment, right? And the putting down. And that's important. All right. Working on it. It's a work in progress. All right. Yeah. Okay. How to be a great parent. It's like so simple. But I mean, I'm not one yet, so I don't know. I guess I'm a little biased, but what keeps coming through as far as parenting, especially parenting these old souls and these star seeds and these poor kids who have ADHD and on the spectrum and they're just different, beautifully different. How to be a great parent is to listen. That's it. That's it. Your children are trying to tell you things from the moment they are born onto this planet. I could cry right now, but I'm not going to. And as parents, it's like, we read the books, what to expect when expecting. And, we ask our parents, what did you do when I was 2 years old? And we need to be of the mindset and the generation that we're ending that we're ending the residual trauma from our ancestors and our ancestors' ancestors. Because the kids coming in, the souls that are being born now, are so different than even 20 years ago. We have to treat them differently. We can't, oh, look at the little baby. No, that doesn't fly anymore. These are not babies. These are not new souls by any means. As a matter of fact, they are our superior. They are the next generation. And the more that we give them space to be exactly who they are supposed to be on this planet, the more we get to change every aspect of this planet. Because we know that the systems are not working. And these children are system breakers. That's why they don't resonate with school. That's why they're not getting straight A's. They can't conform. And that's okay. So your idea of a parent should be entirely radical and different from any parenting you received. This is including and especially the millennial generation, including and especially Gen Z and beyond, so on and so forth. The only thing we need to do to be a great parent is to listen. Let them lead the way. Yeah, have structure, and no, they can't eat ice cream every day. But listen to what they're saying. Listen to what their needs are. And then you create the ultimate bond because you respect them. Because they're on your level always. All right? Okay. The key to mastering your mind. How do we ultimately master our mind? It's really simple, but it takes a very long time to put it into practice. As a matter of fact, it usually takes lifetimes to put this into practice. The key to mastering your mind is not isolating. I see you there, Scratch. It's not isolating. Thank you, Joanne, for that super chat. The key to mastering your mind is actually through breath. That's it. That's what it is. And I had this download, and this is why this is part of this, not too long ago, actually. I don't know what I was thinking of. I was like, I think I had a really busy week, and I felt really a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation on me and a lot of obligation and I just felt behind. And it was like, I noticed myself, I was doing work and my breathing was so shallow and so short. And it was almost like I was doing this weird hyperventilation thing. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. It wasn't extreme, but I wasn't taking full breaths. And in that moment, closed my eyes. And in one breath, I was able to completely liberate my mind. Because in that breath, that conscious moment of choosing to relax your nervous system, I was able to put everything in perspective and realize that all of my fears, all of my worries, every single freaking to-do of that week was all just a part of the illusion. The only thing that mattered in that moment was my breath. So what I want you to do is pay attention to your breathing throughout your day. Years ago, I used to make sure that I took 3 deep breaths a day. And these days, I really just don't do that enough. Definitely when I'm stretching or doing some yoga, I'm stretching intentionally with breath, which is really nice. If I go and get a massage, I'm getting a massage and I'm intentionally breathing. When my mind is restless at night and I'm trying to fall asleep, I'm intentionally breathing. That is how we master our mind. The breath will always show you the way. Your breath will show you if you are anxious or you're calm. So please start intentionally breathing. If you have to set an alarm on your phone to remind yourself to intentionally breathe, do that. It's totally okay. But a reminder to just take a deep breath and realize that you're exactly where you need to be. All right, last one. We're going to talk about quantum processing or processing. It's so funny. Nat and I were watching a Canadian show, and the guy said processing. And I used to always say processing until I moved to the States, and then Nat made fun of me for saying processing instead of processing. Anyway, long-winded story. I also made fun of her for saying roof instead of roof. And so anyway, so I kind of switched it up. Processing, tomato, tomato. Before I get to quantum processing and what that is, just a lowdown. Once again, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, if you liked it. Of course, huge thanks to everyone who super chatted. You can actually donate even after the video is done, so huge thanks to everyone in the future who may want to super chat or give a donation. Be sure to share this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, check out the Galactic Federation event happening on December 11th, which is, I think, this week, and then the Cosmic Gateway event happening on December 21st, and then I've got the Cryon interview happening this Wednesday at 6 p.m. If you're watching this video way in the future, then the Cryon video will be on my membership platform, but probably won't stay on my YouTube forever. And then, yeah, big news drop happening in January. So definitely be sure to tune in to all of my social medias to get your handle on that big news drop coming. Thank you, Carlos, for that really beautiful super chat as well. So last but not least, quantum processing. So, I mean, I've thought about this a lot, and I've definitely talked about this aspect of the mind in other like quantum videos and maybe even my quantum human workshop. So when I was a kid, I remember this very, very clearly. And thank you, Jennifer, for that as well. Love the 1111s, guys. When I was a kid, I used to, and I never thought this was weird until I got to an adult, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember I used to do that all the time. And let me know in the comments or live chat if you did this too, or if you've ever done this. As a kid, I don't know if I was like testing myself or like, I thought it was really cool to be able to count numbers while I was carrying on a full conversation. And I would be very aware of what number I could get to before I stopped paying attention to the numbers or I lost track of the conversation. So it's like, I would be talking to you right now, but in my mind I'm going 1, 2, 3, and then this thing happened yesterday and it was so cool. 4, 5, 6. And I remember as a kid thinking it was so cool how I could have 2 different like layers of thought happening simultaneously. And I believe that what I was observing as a kid and kind of what I observe now is called quantum processing. And so quantum processing is being able to simultaneously tap into 2 different layers of reality at the same time. And the easiest way we can do this is obviously in our mind. We only have two hands to do things. So you're like cooking over here and I don't know, flipping the channel over here. I don't know, right? I mean, nowadays we're like watching Netflix, we're scrolling on Instagram, we're doing our emails, we're petting the dog, we're chatting with our partner, right? It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of literal quantum processing we're doing, right? So the other way to look at quantum processing is neurodivergence. And neurodivergence is a fancy word for people on the spectrum, people who are diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, even things like OCD or anxiety, or even intrusive thoughts could all be kind of considered thinking a different way, right? Your brain is processing the world around you differently. And I truly believe that these new humans coming to the planet, they process the world around them differently. And this is why we have TikTok and we have these reels and we have these really fast stimulations all the time, is because we can't sit and pay attention. If you got to the end of this video at 51 minutes, props to you for being here for the full thing, right? And I think that we can really master all of the tools that we have. And even though you may not be born in the younger generations with neurodivergence and with the ability to really multitask and do all the things, I think we can tap into that state of being as quantum beings. But what's really, really important is that you're able to navigate tapping into a quantum simultaneous state where you're able to process things much faster, much more efficiently, and much more simultaneously, while you're also able to focus on one thing for a long period of time. And I'm sure you've thought about it too. I am a bit concerned about the younger generations and their attention spans. Totally. Because it shouldn't all just be quick dopamine hits. It's got to be a little bit of both. We've got to teach these younger generations that it's good to use your brain in all of the ways, but it's simultaneously just as good to sit down and really focus our brain on one thing, like meditation, right? And thank you so much, LoveLight44, for that beautiful super chat. So practice this. I want to prompt you all to see if you can carry on a conversation. Maybe you're typing away and counting. See how far you can get before you either lose track of the conversation or you lose track of counting. What happens if we start actually consciously using our ability to quantumly process the reality around us is we stop needing quick dopamine fixes, doing all of the meaningless multitasking in our lives. It's almost like the meaningless multitasking is prompting us to utilize our brain's fullest capacity, but we're not being stimulated in the right ways. We're being stimulated in the brain melting ways. So we're stimulated in the right ways, and we're utilizing this ability in the right ways, and we're consciously focusing on that as an ability that you can utilize. The universe is the limit, my friend. And the universe is limitless. So that's really, really exciting. All right, I love you guys so freaking much. That's it. Just so much appreciation for you. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really enjoyed being here with all of you. This community always warms my heart, and I was kind of chatting with a lot of you at the beginning of this and saying that, you know, someone says, EA, you keep me sane. And I'm like, I think we all keep each other sane here, right? Like that's what this community is about. Is like, you're not crazy, you're not dying, we're all just waking up, experiencing the multifacetedness of this crazy energetic shift that we're in right now. And it's exciting, it's liberating, it's scary as hell, but we're doing it together. And I think that that is the most beautiful aspect of all of this. So beyond appreciating each and every one of you, have an amazing rest of your Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you're at in the world. And for now, I will see all of you in the new Earth frequency.